But right now, we'll talk some Pirate hoops with the head coach of the Pirates, Mike Schwartz, and East Carolina forward CJ Walker, both here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Coach Schwartz, welcome back. Good to see you.
Great to see you, Clip. Glad to be back.
And CJ, nice to meet you, man. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. We are about ready to go, less than a week away, Coach. So I don't know what's the feeling like as we're still here, 5 or so days out from getting underway? Is it excitement, nervousness? How would you describe what you got going on right now?
The best way to describe it is just ready. Just ready. And I think excitement is in that, and I'm sure anxious is in that. There's so many different emotions that come with a long off season, preseason, summer, and now we're a few days away from regular season, but there's definitely an eagerness and an excitement about it, and the guys are just ready because they've been competing against each other for quite a while now.
And talking to coaches, I know that like you go through the off season, you're like, all right, I'm glad we got 2 more weeks of practice. I'm glad we got more time. At this point, it sounds like you're ready to go. Like hey, we don't need another couple weeks. We're ready to take the floor.
Well, I think you made a great point, Clip. I think coaches always want practice time, and we're no different.
I know you do.
Because practice time is an area to sharpen, get better, introduce, review, correct, and teach. So you never want that to go away, but there's no doubt about it where our guys are, where we are right now, we're ready to go compete against another jersey. And we've had a couple, secret type scrimmages and things like that, but it's not the same as getting out there on a road arena or in Minji's and doing it in front of fans. And our guys are just ready for that, for the natural next step to go compete, to have a great non-conference season.
CJ, I'm sure you're ready for the real games to get here. How about playing with the Pirates in these scrimmages, getting to know your teammates? Coach Schwartz said off the air you've come in and the guys have looked to you as a leader already. So how about playing with the guys on the court against a different jersey? How excited are you?
Yeah, like Coach said, we're really ready. We've been putting a lot of work this offseason, and just going out there with the possibility to do something that haven't been done before in a minute is one of the most exciting things for me. Just going out there with a chance to make something happen and to start fresh with a new group of guys, that's just a blessing, So,
CJ, what did you do to come in and gain the trust of Coach Schwartz kind of so early on that he looks at you as a guy that he wants around the he wants you around the younger players, talking to these guys? What have you done to kind of come in and be that guy?
Well, first it started off with our talks that we've had before I came here, before I committed. We were on the same page with a lot of stuff, and bringing me in as that leader, like he's been pulling that voice out of me. And that's what we've been speaking about before I even committed here. So now the time has arrived to where I actually got to get that out of the guys and just making it all come together like we've been saying we would.
That's a good thing, Coach, right? Well, you need to pull the voice out of a guy rather than say, hey, you're talking too much. You like guys like CJ, and sounds like he's doing a good job with that.
Yeah, high energy, competitive, great amount of passion that he practices with every day. But again, when we talk about being a leader, one of the biggest things is care factor. And I truly believe this, and we've talked about RJ in here before, and obviously, we know RJ well from his time here, but CJ truly cares about the people around him. He has a real ability to make other people better, and it's because he shows them how much he cares about them, whether it's on the court, whether it's in the locker room. And to us here at EC, that's a huge part of leadership. And he and I talked about that before he got here, and when he got here, he put 2 feet in right away. And again, it's twofold. It's the returning guys embracing the new guys, and it's CJ stepping right in and putting 2 feet in into our culture, into what we do. But one of the biggest things about CJ and why I trust him is because he's extremely coachable. I mean, he is really a coachable player, whether you're getting on him, whether you're positive, whether you're criticizing, whatever it may be. He can handle it from his teammates and his coaches, but he really cares about this program and his teammates, and that makes you a leader in my eyes.
That's what the fans want to hear, and we know that if you buy a ticket to go see an ECU basketball game, RJ might not score 30 or grab 10 rebounds, but he's going to play his ass off for 40 minutes and sometimes longer than that. If you go to overtime, he'll go 44, whatever. But that's what Pirate fans want to see. It's nice to hear CJ has that buy-in. And, Coach, I know you want that buy-in from all your guys. And if you got your leaders doing it, I'm assuming other guys are going to want to do that.
That's absolutely right. And you know what? I've said this many times here that I love this team, believe in this team, love this team. That you love coaching them every day, and when you go home at night, you miss them, and you can't wait to get back in the gym with them or see them the next morning. But one of the reasons is not because every practice is perfect, not because every practice is pretty and the stats look right or we're making shots. Really, that's not the point. It's the way these guys practice. It's how competitive they are, the energy they have every single day since they've been on campus June 2nd, and that is what is really, that's what catches on. Like you said, that's what gets other guys to do it, and guys all start. It's like wildfire. It just spreads, and CJ is just a huge piece of that, and we need him to be as a senior, but he stepped right in a new environment and taken on that role for us.
Coach, I want to run down some of the roster, some guys we know, some we don't. I want to ask you about Cam Hayes, though. You get a full season from Cam here. How has his offseason gone? What did he individually work on to improve upon?
Well, he's worked on so many things physically, and one of the biggest things is playing more at that point guard spot consistently. Last year, we didn't know when he was going to play. When he finally got eligible, obviously we had a couple other point guards that were playing quite a bit because we had to. We were 10 games into the season. So Cam kind of had to find his niche on and off the ball. And then late season, when he was probably playing his best basketball, he was back on the ball as a point guard. And so he's still playing off the ball right now, but the biggest thing, Clip, for him is that he knows where his situation is. He knows he's playing from the beginning of the season. And I've said this so many times, it wasn't necessarily the physical that made it hard for him last year. It was the mental. Am I going to play? Am I not going to play? And that kind of mental stress is way more than trying to get your legs right in the middle of the season. So Cam's had a really good offseason, but again, he and Julian Samaro, both of them have played a lot of minutes at the point guard spot. We have a couple other guys that have had to take minutes in practices there, but those two guys will definitely shoulder the load, and I think it's good for both of them.
How about a couple other returners? And it's great to see these guys back for another year because we saw them grow as the season went along, especially Sear Malonga, but also Callum Richard. How about the two returning big men inside? And Sear, we saw kind of him just grow up throughout the season, get playing time, the rebounds he was pulling down. What was that conference tournament, I think? I mean, just playing really key minutes for you. So how about those two guys moving forward?
Yeah, it was that SMU game at SMU. We had that tough loss in overtime when Sear had 10 points, 9 rebounds, and he probably played his most complete game of the season. He started down the stretch of the season, and in the conference tournament, Cal played his longest stretch in the conference tournament. Also, the two things that those two guys have to bring. The biggest things that those two guys have to bring is physicality. The one area, and we talked about it in practice today, that between CJ, Cal, Sear, and Reed, Case, and the new freshman that we have here, they have to bring a rim protection and a physicality paint protection from that position. We have a lot of versatility, 1 through 4. CJ can play the 4, he can play the 5, he's done it all. But specifically to Cal and Sear, they have to bring real rim and paint protection with their size and their physicality.
CJ, how have you enjoyed kind of bumping around the big guys at practice? How's the big men looking for this team?
Yeah, like Coach said, definitely been physical. We all been in the weight room doing the same stuff. So we've been growing together in the weight room and just going out there playing against each other. Definitely playing against Sear is one of the toughest things to do because he's so tall, so athletic. And Cal, playing against him down there is very hard because, he got a nice touch around the rim. So, it's just been physical and excited to see what they're going to do during the season.
Yeah, and as a guy your size now, basketball, and this is nothing new, but it's continued to get further and further away from the basket. So you might be out on the perimeter guarding some guys too. How, as you've grown up, how have you seen the game kind of change and get further away from the basket like that?
I know that it's kind of tough with big men. Like it's not to say that they're like the league is trying to like. All right, yeah, actually, question.
Either way,
I might help him out with that clip because as far as the big guy, one of the things that CJ does so well is his versatility. You know how a lot you and I have spoken about how RJ, we post him a lot.
Yeah,
RJ is a 6'3" guard that we post in like he's a 6'8", 6'9" post player at times. Well, CJ has been really strong in the paint, but his versatility he gives us to guard on the perimeter.
Right.
He's switching out guarding Cam Hayes, Julian, Jordan Riley, R.J. Felton all day in practice. He's switching out there on the perimeter. He's playing on the perimeter as someone that shoots the ball from behind the arc. He's got great touch from behind the arc. He knows that that's within our offensive system. He pushes the ball in transition, but he also knows his number one responsibility for us to be good is to go control that paint, control the elbows, and rebound the basketball and be dominant in that area. And he's accepted all of that, and that's why we're so excited about his versatility.
Yeah, so I was speaking more on defense, but CJ, you can step out yourself and shoot it if need be, if your number is called. And Coach, we've talked a lot about that. You yourself have said you got to get more outside shooting. So how has that part of it gone this offseason for you guys?
Yeah, you know what I think we added this off season, and what I think this team and this style of play is, I'm not sure we've added one guy in particular that you just say that's what he is. He's a one-trick pony. He's a shooter. That's what he does. He's a specialist. I'm not sure we went out and did that, but here's what I do believe that we really have added is multiple guys that are all comfortable playing behind the arc, and that could be at the point, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 when CJ's at that spot. And when I think about that, Jan Farrell playing a lot of 4 for us, can shoot the ball from behind the arc. Travion LeBeau playing a lot of 4 for us, can shoot the ball behind the arc. CJ Walker playing the 4 and the 5, can shoot the ball from behind the arc. And then you go to the perimeter, Julian Samaro, Cam Hayes, R.J. Felton, and a name that Pirate fans will get very familiar with, J. Shane Woodard, can shoot the ball from behind the arc. So right now when I look at that across the board, again, I think they're versatile players, but all of them, 1 through 8, 1 through 9, are comfortable playing behind the arc and shooting the basketball, and that's exciting.
Yeah, there's a lot of mystery on the outside, not from you because you're in it every day, but who are these new guys? And I'm hearing a lot about J. Shane Woodard, 6'7", but point guard. Like what is his role on this team right now?
He's definitely a guard. He's played some point this preseason. He's playing mostly at the 2 and the 3 spot right now. But again, we talk about style of play in here. At any given point, we have guys that we want to be able to rebound the basketball and push off the glass and lead our break. CJ being one of them, but a guy like Jay Shane that has a point guard's mind, thinks like a point guard, likes to pass the basketball, can play off of ball screens, but where he's most dynamic, again, when we talk about being a point guard, is his ability to rebound and push the ball and lead the break. We don't have to have Jay Shane get the rebound and find Julian Samaro or Cam Hayes. He can push the ball, and Cam and Julian can get out and run. And that's a big deal when you talk about the initiation of your break. And I know CJ could talk to you about it, what a great rebounder Jay Shane is. So those two things go hand in hand.
Couple of questions for CJ on YouTube. First of all, what does the team do together for fun when not on the court?
Well, when the summer was out, we was grilling like every weekend. We was grilling at the pool. But now everybody's on Call of Duty. Everybody but me, though. I'm the only one that's not on it. But I'm supposed to get back on it. But
Coach, that's probably good for communication. You can probably gain something out of that.
My kids would probably be excited if I was at home with the headset on and I was playing and talking to them. I know my daughters would love it.
They on me every day about it because I'm the only one that's not on the game. But I just never been a gamer for real. But I got a game in my house. I just don't be playing it. But I'm definitely thinking about hopping on it, though.
All right. If you get on college football, let me know. I will run one. Also, what made CJ want to come play for Coach Schwartz in East Carolina? What really sold you on ECU and this team?
Just what we went over on my visit and on the phone. Just being on the same page with a lot of stuff. I feel like it was time for me to take that leadership step in my career and just go away from Florida to do that, of course.
I like that you said, do something that hasn't been done here. I like to hear that from guys because
a lot of programs have that. They got that pressure on them. Not pressure, but pressure. Even you going part of a winning program, it's like, we got to do what they did last year.
Right.
Got to do what. But just to have a group of guys that can do it, and now it's time for us to just make it happen, is really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, you could be part of history here, CJ, if things go right. So that is exciting. Coach, Noah asking, is it the fact that we don't know much about this team by design, it seems like it's been silence for the most part. I don't know. Again, there's like a lot of mystery because there's new faces, but are you trying to keep things close to the vest, or has it just worked out that way?
No, honestly, it's just the way the landscape of college athletics is.
Sure.
So you're talking about 9 new players overall, 7 returners, 9 new players. That's number one. So that in itself is going to cause a little bit of mystery, obviously. Number 2 is that, and I think this is changing, and I'll say this on air right now, I'm hopeful next year we have exhibition games out in front of fans and
Sure.
in front of Pirate Nation, and we're playing, and maybe the game's being streamed or whatnot. We took to play 2 games in the Bahamas this summer, but those aren't games that are streamed. We played 2 over there. So when you look at that, and if we came out and we had played 1 or 2 exhibition games in the month of October, I think there would be a little bit more of a known commodity to it. The bottom line is college athletics is still in a position where you do these secret scrimmages. You're not really publicizing practice. In fact, just until this year, you couldn't do any publicity of practice in terms of an open practice. Now they've just changed that this year.
Okay.
So I think that would change over time, but I think it's just coincidental, honestly, Clip, that we have new players and the climate is the way it is in the preseason. But very soon, Monday, November 4th, I would say anybody that has any mystery or thoughts of what this team is, come on out Monday night and see this group.
Yeah.
And you know what? And then the next Saturday, you want to come back again when we play Coastal Carolina.
CJ, don't answer this. I'll see if Coach can have you comment on it. William says, I heard CJ was on fire against Richmond during the scrimmage. Should we just move on from that? Maybe he'll be on fire Monday night.
Who did you say said it?
That was William on the YouTube. Yeah, one of our
William,
listeners.
were you in the gym, William? That's what I'll tell you on that.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Coach Schwartz, one for you. What is Coach looking to improve most this season from last season? Anything stand out?
Defensive rebounding. And you know what? We're in here right now at 4:19. I'm looking at that clock, and when we get in the gym tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to fix some things from rebounding today in practice. So,
how's that sound, CJ?
Put that bubble up there, you know what the bubble is. They put a bubble in there so that the ball don't go in the basket.
All right.
Every time somebody shoots, you got to get a rebound. So I don't really look forward to that part. But I look forward in terms of getting better so
right.
you can do it. But 8:30 in the morning, I'm trying to go get a bucket. You know what I'm saying? You can't get a bucket.
We don't, as coaches, we don't design often to create misses on purpose.
Right.
That bubble does it for us. There'll be 2 bubbles on the basket at 8:30 tomorrow morning.
All right.
Because we know we got to be a better defensive rebounding team. And in the end of the day, again, that's a collective deal. We know that there's a real emphasis on defense in terms of what we want to do. And a lot comes with that. But you can be as good a defensive team as you want. You can execute all the schemes you want. You can have the versatility you want and have success doing it. But if you can't hold a team to one shot and you continue to give them extra possessions, and we got better from year 1 to year 2, but that's a championship stat that if we want to be at the top of this conference, we got to be a really strong defensive rebounding team, and we're not there yet, where we want to be.
CJ, you seem like you don't shy away from work and practice and things like that. Is that because you're a grad student now, you've been around the block, or have you always enjoyed working out and practice and stuff? Did you have to grow into that, or did you always have it?
No, I've always had that grit to me to work. I know what to do and what not to do, and being a basketball player, you're not going to play good if you don't work out. And then I was going through a lot of injury my collegiate career. And just so now I have the opportunity, like my legs are good, my knees are right. I have the opportunity to work out every day and do what I'm supposed to do. And it's exciting for me to be able to do that, like, healthy. So I never take any days for granted. And like you said, I never shy away from no work.
That's great. Coach, you mentioned injuries. How are we doing health-wise heading into the year? Anybody banged up?
Clip, you're not supposed to ask
we ain't even asked those questions.
Next question.
No, you know what? It's been
great.
a good, hard preseason. We know this time of year, the way we practice and compete, there's your normal.
Right.
There's no such thing as being 100%. There's no such thing. And you know what? Probably for you and I, too, Clip. Forget just players. There's no such thing as that.
Right.
So, but this team competes, and you got to train your body to a certain point where when you get banged up and you get hit in the face, you get whatever it may be, you quickly respond. And I'll tell you, CJ does it all the time. You know, CJ's into, he does some boxing training. He does some training like that. So, but that's part of the buildup of going from preseason, off-season, to in-season, to mid-conference play, to hopefully postseason play. That is part of the game.
Yeah.
And how you deal with it is what it is. But I think we got a tough, gritty group of guys that understand it's not about feeling perfect. You know what? Because that's not reality.
I like that. I like the attitude there. Talking to CJ Walker and Coach Schwartz here inside the Pirate Radio studios. We'll go a couple more minutes with the guys if you got questions. Any rule changes, anything? Have refs told you, hey, we're going to look at this more, or anything like that going on?
This is NCAA does it like this, and the referee, NABC, this is a non-rule change year.
Okay.
So there is no changes that can be implemented this year. There was some stuff that happened in the NIT last year, some different things they did to experiment, Then this year it's the same, and then next year you might see a couple rule changes, but nothing new this year.
All right. Coach, how do you like the way the schedule sets up? We got some very winnable games here on the schedule early, and some challenge. I love the series with South Carolina. I love the games with UNCW and teams like that. So what do you think overall about the schedule?
Well, you know what? I've always said this, that we're going to put together a really challenging non-conference schedule to prepare us for American Conference play, which doesn't start till December 31st at USF. But when we talk about our opener on the 4th, Wesleyan coming in, North Carolina Wesleyan. You got Coastal Carolina coming in after that. Then a week later, George Mason comes in, a really good Atlantic 10 team. Yeah. We have a series that is beginning a 6-year series with Wilmington. So when Wilmington comes here, this is the front end of a 6-year series where we'll go home and home, home and home, home and home. So we'll continue that series. South Carolina, obviously, this is the rubber match with South Carolina. The first game was in Greenville, South Carolina. We won that game 2 years ago. Last year we lost in the gut-wrenching loss in Minges, and now we're to Columbia to play. So, again, and we have some obviously games in December, but we stay focused on Monday, November 4th, but love how this non-conference schedule has a chance to play out in terms of getting us ready for conference play in high-level and non-conference games.
CJ, did you play in Minges ever, your time at UCF?
Yeah, too many times. I played there like 4 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so you've got some experience in there.
Probably more than that. Let's see. Sophomore year I played there twice. Junior year twice. And then
well, you played against ECU, but you came here.
6. I played here 6 times.
Yeah, so you played against ECU 6 times.
But here.
Oh, 3. Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, yeah. It just feels like I've been here a lot.
Well, so maybe it was that practice this morning.
Well, they'll be cheering for you instead of against you this time, so that'll be good. Any story with the hair, or is that just how you're feeling today?
I feel like when I cut my locks off, I was just too like everybody else.
You want to do something different?
Yeah, just do something different.
That
was actually the longest I went without dyeing my hair when I came here.
Okay.
And now I'm back on my dyeing.
You gonna change it during the season, or just kind of?
I'm about to go change it after we leave here.
All right, good. So, what color will be Monday night? You got to show up to Minges to find out.
I'm gonna do purple.
Well, they just told us.
So, yeah.
All right, purple time. Good deal, Coach. You watching your Dodgers here? What you think?
Yeah, I was really feeling good last night. 3-0.
Ready?
We have 3 guys on this team from New York, and CJ is actually born in New York. So it would be 4 guys that were born in New York, and 3 of them were raised there. See, what'd you leave when you were 11?
Yep. And Jan went to New York too.
And Jan lived in New York. So there's been some trash talking going on, but it seems like last night the bats of the Yankees woke up a little bit, and you got to expect that clip. But Freddie Freeman's been pretty good.
He's been awesome.
The Dodgers one away from hanging another one.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, good luck to you, to your boys. CJ, great to meet you, man. We had people in the chat. Jamie said CJ's now my favorite player. Love his attitude.
Yes, sir, Jamie.
He said it's nice to see and hear guys in this setting, gets the fans more into the team. So, Coach, appreciate you coming by, bringing CJ, and we'll keep in touch throughout the season, and we'll certainly see you Monday night out of Minges.
Thanks, Clip. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.